You are now listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast. You can find this channel on Twitter, Gab.ai, BitChute, and Minds.com. This is a Real American Patriot channel for Real American Patriot. If you're not a Real American Patriot, please exit the channel. Furthermore, we are not sponsored by any outside interference. That means we're unscripted, unrehearsed, and unedited. With that being said, transmission will commence momentarily.
How you guys doing? Thank you for listening to the HighlyEvolvedPodcast Podcast. I'm your host, Safan. You can find me on BitChute. Subscribe to BitChute. All right, you can find me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. You can find me on Gab.ai. Follow me on Gab.ai. And follow me on Minds.com as well. All right. YouTube's been trying to censor my videos. So if you can't find any of my videos on YouTube, you can find me on BitChute. That's where all the backup's going to be. And on that note, let's start the show. In this episode, I want to talk about Pope Francis approving changes to Lord Prayer, right? Quote, "It does not let us fail into temptation." This fucking, excuse my language, excuse my French. This Pope, right? To me, he's the Antichrist. He is the Antichrist. He's Luciferian in personification, right? If you don't know, Luciferian and Satan is two offsuit, but they share the same coin. They're two wings of the same coin. All right. It's just Luciferian is just the messenger of Satan. All right. Satan is the adversary of Jesus Christ, and Lucifer is the messenger, which is the Pope. All right. When you think about it, the Pope is the Antichrist. That's what it is. But let me show you this article about what he said. All right. Give me 1 second. I'll try to put this thing up for you guys. There you go. Pope Francis approved changes to Lord Prayer. All right, let's read this together. Pope Francis finally approved changes he has long wanted to implement into the Lord's Prayer by replacing "let us not to temptation" with "do not let us fail into temptation." Why is that? You got to question it. I'm giving you ideas like, why do we want to change this? All right. What propel him? What kind of agenda is he trying to show? What is his intentions? Ask this kind of question, right? What is his real intention? On May 2nd, during the General Assembly of Episcopal Conferences in Italy, President Cardinal Gualtiero Bossettis announced the approval of a third edition of the Missale Romano, reporting outlet. The revised translation, including changes in the Lord's Prayer and Gloria. Lord's Prayer will changes from and let us not into temptation to do not let us fall into temptation. Pope Francis first spoke of this desire updated that led us not into temptation. Excuse me. Part of the Lord Prayer arguing that it is portraying God as a false light. Pope, you are a false prophet, all right? Pope Francis, you Antichrist. But let's continue. A father does not lead into temptation. A father help us get up immediately. The Pope said at the time. I'm not even sure the Pope really mean what he's saying. All right, it is not a good relationship because it speaks of the God who introduced temptation. He added. Pope Francis also asserted other translation had already been changed to correct mistakes and modernize the language. The French have modified the prayer to "do not let us fall into temptations," because it is to me whose fall, not the Lord, who tempt me to then see how I fall, he said. According to UK Express, the changes to the Lord's Prayer comes after 16 years. Look at that number, 16 years. Number have a big role in the world. How's the world work, right? 16 years of research by experts who found it the mistake in current translation from a theological, pastor, and stylistic viewpoints, unquote. It has been translated into literal hundreds of language from the original text in ancient Greek, right? Hebrew and Aramaic. Now, when he say translated, right, he said translation could also be mistaken, right? Now, how do we know what the Pope is saying is actually factual? Because You gotta really look into this thing and try to learn for yourself, not just look at all these books and take everything at face value. I want people to question more. All right, look into this. The Daily Wire Michael Knowles explored the original translation. See, when you want to know something, you want to look at the original translation. You don't want to look at multiple translation, because when you translate things multiple time, it tends to get skewed. Like when you pass a message to more than one people at a time, the message becomes distorted. That's why you want to look at the original translation and not all these multiple copies. All right, the original translation may actually be the correct one by adhering to the actual Greek word. Right. While prosamos, the word of temptation in ancient Greek, may be open to an alternate interpretation whose precisely does the lead is not. Perisrasmos connote not only temptation but the trial and testing, and to test one's metals. It is all these senses. 2 paragraphs before St. Matthew related to prayer that Jesus led up to the spirit of worldliness to be tested by the devil. In both cases, while the devil does not tempting, God led the way to the trial. Just why God might lead the faith to temptation and testing purpose difficult theology questions, if not outright mystery. Right. Defender of the apparent changes of the new language simply switch out the literal translation so that modern ears may get the word wrong. Modern ears may not get the wrong impression. Jimmy Atkins argued the National Catholic Registration of current translation already has changed the original Greek text, so Pope Francis is actually doing nothing radical, as others has asserted. Why is he? This guy. All right, we're doing research about this guy. What is his background, all right? Like I said, the church tried to do all these stuff that's unnecessary, right? Remember, you have to question the Pope. Always question the Pope. Just because he's Pope doesn't mean he can't do no wrong, all right? He's not God. He's not infallible, all right? He's just a regular person like you and me, all right? He's just a guy who want to take over Jesus Christ or Jesus Christ's place since he's not here right now. All right. So in actuality, he's the Antichrist himself because he's not Christ. When you're not Christ, you're the opposite of Christ. You're Antichrist. All right. So this guy, I don't trust him one bit. All right. Look how creepy he looks. The Jesuit. He's a Jesuit. All right. The Jesuit have a big army. All right, he have a lot of powers within countries, especially South America. This guy is not a good person. I'm telling you this. Don't let the grin fools you. All right, Pope Francis. I don't trust him one bit. Okay, but let me switch back to the original views. There you go. Pope Francis. I hope people are really waking up to how evil this person is. All right, I don't take his word for granted at all. People should also question him in his past. All right, if you question me why I don't take his word for granted, you gotta look at the Pope history, the past where he came from. All right, there's allegedly he's a Nazi. All right, allegedly, I'm not saying that, but allegedly the Pope did met with Hitler. All right, in the 1940s. All right. The Pope also met with Mussolini. All right, so there's a lot of connection with the Catholic and the Nazi. All right, and there's a lot of connection between the Catholic and South America and Central America. All right, it's all Catholic state. So it's like an empire. This Catholic religion, instead of a Roman Empire, is a Roman Catholic Empire now. All right, but let me know you agree or disagree. Leave a message below. Because of what I'm saying, Google are not monetizing my channel. Because of that, I'm unscripted, unrehearsed, unedited. I can say whatever I want without being bound by any outside interference. If you like what I do, please like, share, subscribe. But it's important to subscribe. When you subscribe, it tells me that people are listening and watching, and they encourage me to make more videos. Not only subscribe to YouTube, right? Click the bell, and subscribe me on BitChute as well. Because if you don't see any video from me, go check out BitChute. That's where all the backup channel will be, on BitChute. And on that note, guys, thanks for listening to Highly Evolved Podcast. I know your time is precious and not trying to waste any of your time. My name is Stefan, and I'm signing out. Peace.